Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play the Elder Scrolls Arena. Okay. In the last episode, I was just basically filling in this dungeon. We've got this little bit here to do. Yeah. I was also rambling because I was elected as campaigns officer for United Community Park in Dagenham and Havering, which is quite exciting, but means that I may be getting even more busy in the future. I was also rambling quite a bit about autism and other stuff as well. And mainly how going on a kind of diversionary talk about how much these Let's Plays benefit me as in sorting my mind out. Because of the freedom it gives me in kind of stream of consciousness. Now, there's a lot going on. There'd be a lot going on as campaigns officer. It's a very, very busy time in society in general at the moment. Lots of strikes and campaigns and stuff going on, which is exactly what we're supposed to do. I mean, we're supposed to be. It's important that we represent our members in the community. It's the whole point of being part of Unite community. And as such, a lot of my focus has been on trying to get the branch back into shape to be able to fulfill those goals in a good way. So being campaign officer is pretty good for me. A good way to achieve that, because it means that I get to help direct and organise what campaigns we're going on, what action, and try and motivate the branch and its members into what actions they can do, coordinate them with other actions, or running our own campaigns and what's going on in the community and all that sort of stuff. So it's all good. As I was saying, what I tend to do is I record these in blocks, often in the morning in between lulls, to focus what's going on. These serve as a mixture, so they're not kind of full audio blogs, they're not kind of, or podcasts, they're not kind of full no commentary playthroughs. They're just a bit of everything that should talk about me. What's going on when gives me a chance to talk about games I enjoy as well. Yes! Level up. What have we got? Okay, that'll do. Okay. Yeah, you will notice, because we dropped down to reset all our stats. But we dropped down because I swapped out one of my strength items. So yeah. But that's good. It's not what we want. I mean, at one point I was thinking of winding down my channel. wasn't getting a lot of subscribers. It was a good couple of months, probably before doing this series and getting the feedback from the algorithm, which has resulted in getting up to almost 100 subscribers now. And I have a Patreon because I don't work, and basically YouTube isn't that friendly to beginning creators. A lot of people who want to do streams use other platforms and then basically have YouTube as a way to preserve VODs and stuff like that, but for live streaming. But I'm not very good at live streaming. Get distracted too easily, and to be honest, I'd either end up focusing on the game and not concentrating on the chat, or I'd end up focusing on the chat and not getting on the game. And the thing is, that's one of the things that annoys me about other Let's Plays, especially streaming Let's Plays. You know, is that you're watching a Let's Play, you want to watch a Let's Play of a game, then you want to see the game. You don't necessarily want a lot of endless chatter. If you can do, I mean, I don't mind a lot of endless chatter during the quiet bits or the regular bits like this, for example. This is simple grinding. There's not a lot of complexity or exploration or whatever. You know, it's but you'll often notice that the more complicated aspects of the game, I tend not to talk as much because I'm focusing on the game, and I think that's important. And I'm not going to make it, you know, I'm not going to apologise for that. I don't think it's fair to be in a position to feel like you have to apologise for not commenting at a time when you're focusing on a game or on a Let's Play. Especially if, and this is the case, my primary platform is YouTube. My primary platform is videos. And my commentary is often about the game and whatever comes to mind as I'm playing. If I do RPGs, there's often a lot of speech, so I will focus on that as well. I mean, reading out the bits that come up. But in these early games, there isn't necessarily a lot of story that's in the game. That's where the upset stairs is. And therefore, there's a lot of blank space that can be filled in. And it's quite useful to, I find that quite useful as a time to sort out my thoughts at times. And keep you updated with what's going on with the channel. Because I was at one point thinking of winding it down and cancelling my Patreon. Because to allow me to focus on other things, basically. But to be honest, what changed my mind was the fact that just as I was about to wind it down, it was literally like I was going to do it at the end of that week. I got a Patreon supporter who wasn't a friend of mine personally. And, well, I was so humbled. I was like, you know what? If one person is willing to pay for me to do these Let's Plays and support the channel, then I should probably carry on giving it a go. You know, I mean, I'm on state benefits because I don't work between my Crohn's disease and my autism. You know, getting a job and keeping a job, especially with my work experience and education and training and stuff, it's quite difficult. And it's okay saying that there's lots of jobs out there, and there's a job if you want to seek one, but to be honest, I can't make people give me a job. And being quite old, I know that I am fairly down on the list for most cases. Plus, a lot of people will think I'm either over or underqualified, depending on the position, simply because of how I am and my. I mean, I have expertise in doing things like helping people and stuff like that. So doing a physical labour job, which I would find hard anyway because of my health. Although I do it, I think people would feel that I'd be wanting something more, and I'd be pushing for more, and they wouldn't be too far off the mark, to be honest. And the other thing as well is that in order to keep any such job, I need to be invested in the role. The job has to have purpose for me, because I'm not, and this sounds stupid, I'm not motivated by money. That's not why I do things. And maybe that's a strange sort of freedom, because I've not really done a lot of work, and therefore I can spend my time volunteering and doing what I want to do, including things like Let's Plays, where I've been largely self-directed on what I'm doing, because it gives me that control over what I'm able to do and what I'm not to do, and when I can do it. And it's like, the way I see benefits, it is often I am being paid by the government, and they're essentially paying me to do stuff in the community. I believe that, sounds stupid, I believe that volunteers should be compensated for their roles. And I believe things like unpaid carers and stuff like that, they should have a basic income so that they're be considered a vital part of the economy. And basically, because there's more, I don't value myself in terms of wealth. I value myself in terms of what I can achieve for myself and other people. Okay, we are done here. So we are leaving. I'm going to check. Should be out of here. That's done, I believe, because this is the second level of this dungeon. This random dungeon. This is the first one. How do we do this? Well, we're here. We're just going to go up and round and that way, really. That makes sense. So, yeah. And the way I set Patreon up, because the other thing is, because I have to focus on what I do in terms of energy and health, because if I burn myself out or get too overwhelmed or stuff like that, and it impacts me physically, because my Crohn's disease is highly related to stress, just simply due to the nature of the way the gut is generally wired. And yeah. So I have to kind of be careful on what I do and how I do it, and keep an eye on my energy and motivation levels. And the other thing I've been discovering is that while I can do recording, it is quite stressful and overstimulating for me, so I tend not to do any editing. Basically, once I've recorded, it's done. I will give my videos a quick check over, but I don't spend a lot of time editing. I don't do and I don't do extra content, basically. So what I do is my Patreon there is it's at the lowest possible rate, which is a pound a month, because basically you're paying me and to support me while I'm providing content, which is cool, you know. But you're not paying to get extra content, because I'm not producing it. You're literally just supporting me doing what and helping me provide free content for people. I mean, my monthly Patreon means that I basically, although I've only got, yeah, you're over there, so I want to go over there. Basically means that, I mean, I'll get about, if I only got a few Patreon supporters, yeah, I've got 3 at the moment, so I'm getting £3 a month, which doesn't sound like a lot. But when you put it into context, that's just under half the price of helping me pay for my Humble Choice subscription. Which means that games like Hammer Ting, and that's how I discovered Stellaris. You're paying for that on a way in a bit. Another way of saying is it's half the cost of a Kairosoft game. So it's all about helping out. This is a crypt. Okay. Now, first off, we're gonna rest. These niches means that we've got a perfectly good place to rest here. Perfect. So yeah. And so that's how I've set up my Patreon. I mean, That's why you get this sign out about me. I'm only a thing, but I mean, it's not about the money. It's just the money helps, and not just for the money, but it helps with terms of motivation as well. Because just even having that one extra patron supporter basically meant that I had felt like, you know, I should carry on, that I'm slowly making progress, and that people enjoy my content, however it ends up. They kind of enjoy my style, enjoy my rambling, they enjoy my complete silence. If we do on further times, I don't have anything to say, you know, all of that. But it's not like that it's like, you know, I don't feel bad because there's people who get extra content and there's people who are missing out and stuff like that, because quite frankly there isn't. And for those who use Patreon and do their income as professional Let's Play, they're often the idea that they got put on a show and they've got to provide this extra content and they've got to do all this extra stuff, and it can end up a lot like work. Whereas the problem I have is the moment things start becoming like stressful in the long term, that actually makes me quite ill physically because of my Crohn's disease and other issues. So I'm trying to keep the stress down. I don't get enough from it to even bother. It's not like I'm getting £1,000 a month or anything. I mean, that would be nice. And the way I've set the Patreon up is it's a similar sort of funding scheme to what I had with when I was doing my own games design business as Devoid Systems with you might have seen him in the channel Realm of the Ouroboros, Oro. We collaborated to do a kind of some bits and had our own game design business. That was about 10 years ago. That was like 12, 13 years ago now. But the main principle of that, let's have a look. What have we got? Okay, is the idea of 1,000 fans. Basically, if you can get 1,000 people to support your products and you're doing stuff to create content to support those 1,000 fans, that's enough to make a successful business. That's enough to, you know, make an okay living doing something that you enjoy and care about. Like, because sounds stupid, even if those 1,000 fans, if you're creating content on monthly, and they're paying like £1 a month, then you're getting £1,000 a month. Of course, you're getting to sort out taxes and stuff, but £1,000 a month in today's economy is actually respectable. That's almost kin to minimum wage. You know, for minimum wage for a part-time job, you know. So that's quite healthy. Obviously, if you're doing content and you're producing, you're getting more than a pound a time for, then obviously the money goes up. But the key point is not about the money, it's the fact that you've got the fans that keep paying. And by keep paying, they are sustaining you as a channel or business or whatever. Not just for them, but for everyone else as well. So with that in mind, because I don't do a lot of extra content, I don't have a community where it's like, oh yeah, come and join Fabulous Vane, and I might pop on Discord and you can come and talk to me and stuff like that. You know, there isn't where there's like outtakes and stuff. You know, I've basically kept it to the minimum, which is £1 a month for anyone who wants to support me on Patreon. Like I said, I mean, £1 a month, if I can get 1,000 people on Patreon, that is enough for a for a part-time job. But even one person paying £1 a month is enough. Like, hang on a minute, that person thinks that what I'm doing is worth enough to support, and it's enough motivation to keep me going. Especially considering I was thinking of winding down the channel at a time, because it was in a lull, and I kind of get through that lull because I reassess what's going on every time I'm kind of deciding what series I'm doing next. And it was already open, okay. Because some of these old games, they can be quite a commitment. When you think about it, we're on episode 126. And I'm about halfway through this game, playing it as if I was, the best way to put it, as a normal player would, who was exploring the game at the time in 94. So you're poking into corners, and you're doing the narrative, and it's not just a straight rush to get to the end. You know? In my case, it's like, you know, I'm trying to do like maybe a random dungeon in between the steps of the main quest, because the main quest in this game, for example, the storyline's quite linear. That is, you find a map. You get given a quest for a map, which leads you to, which once you've done, gives you the allows you to find where the dungeon is for the staff piece. You know? So 8 staff pieces, you're looking at 16 dungeons, plus the final boss, plus the first starting dungeon. So That's like 18 dungeons. If it takes you, say, we'll be conservative and say it takes me 4 episodes per dungeon, so you're looking at 18, 36, 72 episodes. Something like that, and it's done. Now, but in doing that, you've missed most of the game. You've basically sped through. You've not bothered looking anywhere. Not found any extra dungeons. Not done any sort of grinding, that sort of thing. You've just literally, I want this game. I'm going through this game as quickly as possible. I don't care. And thus a lot of the charm and the point of the game has been lost. Now I know I can do this dungeon pretty much. Well, it's not really a dungeon; it's a tower. I know I can explore this tower and loot it, get to the bottom. By the within this episode, so that's what I'm going to do. It's a bit of a longer episode, like I said, so I can do that because it's literally just. It's not like I'm having to explore the map as such. I'm just going into the rooms. It's easy to rest. So it's down the bottom there, so what we'll probably do in the next episode is go to the Crystal Tower. After all, that's why we're here in King's Haven, which is where we found that wasn't bad actually. Is where we found this dungeon. Oh, these dungeons roll up. Yeah, that's a basic principle that I've done to setting up my Patreon, because it's useful, like gives me motivation. I've actually completed more games doing Let's Plays. So it's helped me focus, because it means that basically I've got that extra commitment to get through, and it kind of eases a sort of perfectionist itch that I have, which means I often end up replaying the same things over and over, and it's like, yeah, you know, I can't do that if I'm having to record to get through the game. Okay. So I'm going to rest. We're going to head outside. And I'm going to head back to town. We are done. What time is that? 9:55 at night. Okay. You see, we've got the Crystal Tower there. Go back to King's Haven. There's a shortcut. I'm pretty sure we have an inn in here. Yep, we got the Black Galley down there. So that's where we're going to head off to. Put that in the back of this. Try not to get attacked by too many muggers during the night. Bit of a trek, but we know where it is. So yeah, I can definitely say that as long as I've got my Patreon supporter, I won't be winding down this channel, and I find it quite therapeutic. Normally what happens is, I was about to attack you then. I mean, I normally record these in the morning when I get up. Just as a means to de-stress, focus my mind, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's it there. And I tend to record in blocks. Cool. Time is it? 10 at night. Takes rest for 8 hours. Should make it 6 in the morning. Okay, now I am going to spend the rest of this episode basically doing the shopping. Need to find where the Mages Guild is. Which I kind of inconveniently forgot to mark on one map. Yay. So let's go over here and ask the monk that I almost stabbed during the night where the Mages Guild is. South, I suppose. I think that's it there. I just forgot to click on the door when I went in to mark it on my map. Like this. Mage's Guild. Let's have a look. What have we got? We have plate helm, other stuff. Okay. So what we got? Mark. Yep. Marker, wizard block, crystal. Another crystal healing is going to come in handy. So it doesn't look like we've got anything brilliant. But we did get a level, and that's kind of important. I kind of would like to see if I can keep how long I can keep that before we get poisoned. Or basically lose it again. Let's look to see what his potions are. I mean, you can really feel the lack of the ability to identify in this game. It's fairly immortal as well. So yeah. Curious, how many of these have I got? I've got a potion of purification I need to find out. What that actually is. Okay. A potion of levitation, which is pretty cool. But it really depends if you need free actions are useless because there's a knight, we get that anyway. So we're done. Let's have a look. Before we do that, let's have a scoozy. Oh, what we got? See, Steel Helm of Personality. Well, we've got Mithril Helm, we don't need much else. Second Crystal of Healing because all the others are gone. The Mark of Wizard Lock simply because can needs slot. No. Will be sold. Got a Potion of Healing. 59 potions of purification, so we're still good. No, we're still doing pretty good at that. Okay. Let's have a look. No, we don't want detect magic. Buy. Don't want any potions. And see if we've got the magic. Well, we've got crystal light, but we replace that with crystal healer, so I'm not going to bother. Could buy stuff of strength, but we kind of sold what we got because I'm slowly boosting up our strength anyway. So yeah. So the last bit I'm going to do in this episode is sell the stuff at the nearby store that we've marked on our map. Because it gets marks when we look for it, but where we can tell where the Mages Guild, because there is only one per settlement, it doesn't get marked on our map. Because no one actually tells us where it is. And if I forget to mark it on the door, then it doesn't end up on the map. Let's have a look. Let's sell what we need to sell. You know what? We will sell that. We don't need it. All Wizard Lock does is keep the door from being opened. Which is great if we want to run away, but generally we don't. Okay, so I'm going to call it here. This has been Vane doing Let's Play Elder Scrolls Arena. If you like what you're seeing here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. Please consider sponsoring me on Patreon. It's only £1 a month, as I've said, for reasons. And until next time, goodbye.